And we say good morning to you, broadcasting live. We're at Champion Chevrolet, again, the number one Chevy dealer in the state, again on this Thursday. We're our typical stop date right here at Champion Chevrolet, and here we is, and we've got a loaded show as we always do, ready to go. We have a lot of baseball to talk about. Of course, the focal point in this neck of the woods would be action 14 miles up the road at Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's last great coliseum. All gets started tomorrow with Bush's Beans Pole Day. Then on Saturday, of course, the big doubleheader with the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 and the Zombie Auto 150 ready to roll. And of course, Sunday, weather a little iffy to say the least. Food City 500. Don't fret, we'll get the race in. It may be Sunday night, it may be Monday. It may be Sunday. Who knows? They can be wrong. They've certainly been wrong before with the weather forecast. But again, the Food City 500 will roll for sure at some point this weekend. Jimmy Johnson in town to defend his crown of said race, driving that Lowe's Chevrolet, which is a really cool thing to tell you. So again, we are here again broadcasting live, having a big time. We thank you for being with us. Show number 727. We are. And so coming up later on the show, we're going to be joined by. We'll have Lisa Johnson joining us by phone in a few minutes from Food City. Tomorrow night, Food City Family Race Night. Hello, Cletus, looking sharp. Look at that. How are you? Ain't seen you for a while. There you go. Cletus always smiling. And so, I don't know if Mr. Dietrich's here today or not. I think he is. But anyway, we'll check in with some folks here from Champion Chevrolet. Obviously, we will talk, as we said, Lisa Johnson on the phone with Food City Family Race Night, which is tomorrow night, again, in Turn 4 in the Hospitality Village. We'll check in with her. Carmichael's going to stop by talking to the National. He is here. Mr. Dietrich's in the house. Huh? He's here. Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, yes. I thought you were pointing to Andy. Okay. So, where was it? Carmichael's going to talk about the National Hockey League NBA playoffs. Dave Angie stops by as well. So, we got a full slate, as always, of folks we want to talk to and visit with here on show number 726 on this, 12th day of April. Our verse of the day to get us started is very simple. Wait on me. Out of the book of Psalms, I will show you my ways. I will teach you my paths. I will lead you in truth. I am the God of your salvation. And that is the verse of the day here to get it all started on this Thursday. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet, the number one Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more Chevys from Mountain City to Memphis than the folks right here at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Highway Motor Mile. ChampionJC.com is the appointed website. So that's what's going on there. So first break in the books. We'll come right back and we'll jump in and take a look at Major League Baseball from last night. Big night yesterday in high school baseball. Of course, our game here, a 6-1 win, Elizabethton over the Johnson County Longhorns. They turn their attention now to University High tomorrow night. We won't have that one. Saturday, they got the makeup game, Sullivan East. And then, of course, we've got racing this weekend. Our next baseball broadcast will be, weather permitting, on Monday at Sullivan South in Colonial Heights, and then South back at O'Brien Stadium on Tuesday, and we'll just keep on keeping on with Elizabethton baseball. Again, heck of a season. Got 5 in a row they've won. They're 11-4 now and playing some very, very good baseball, and we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Quick break. We'll be right back with the All-Star race. Brand new. They've tinkered with it again. They being NASCAR, they've tweaked it. So the All-Star race has been announced, a different format, again, coming up later on in the racing season at Charlotte. So, again, everything points this weekend to right up to about 14 miles up the road, including those Champion Chevrolet pick-em-up trucks going to be used in driver intros with a ride of a lifetime. So we're 14 miles away from the hub of NASCAR for this weekend, the world's last great coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Quick break. We'll be right back, and we will visit with our buddy, first off, Jeff Bingham from Bingham and Hensley, and then we'll come back and we'll, as promised, we'll take a look at a little bit of baseball. We'll do that right after this on show number 727 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. One of our race sponsors here in the Tom Taylor Sports Show is our good friend again, President Jeff Bingham of B&H Wealth Strategies, located on Center Street here in Kingsport, right across from Mayfair United Methodist Church. The website is BHRetire.com. The phone number 247-1152. And Commander Bingham, you have what you call the I'm not going to break out into Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons, thank goodness, but you have what you call the Four Seasons experience. So tell us what that's all about with B&H Wealth Strategies.
First of all, I think you probably should break out into song, but I'm not sure we would finish the segment here this morning, so I guess not. With better,
just let it go. Just let it go.
Okay. The Four Seasons experience it really is a take on, if anybody is familiar with or has ever stayed in a Four Seasons hotel anywhere in the world, and it is an experience like no other that you'll ever have. From, like I said, from the moment that you walk, really, you pull into or near the hotel from the time you go into the lobby till the time you check out and leave, you want for nothing. They anticipate your needs. They take care of you from start to finish. It is phenomenal what they're able to do. And I've always been very impressed. I've been fortunate enough over my lifetime, my business lifetime, to have stayed in them on several occasions. And like I said, I've kind of taken that with me, and I actually have read the book. They're renowned for this out there. And so there's a book that you can read by the founder of the Four Seasons called their business philosophy about it. And we really have tried to model our process around that. And like I said, I've talked to everybody about this, is that, at the end of the day, we manage money for our clients. That's how I get paid. And that's how we get paid, and that's certainly where our area of expertise is, and I think I am as good as anybody that's out there doing that. And I don't mean to. I've just been doing it a long time, so I've kind of seen it all, and been there, done that, and got some scarring from doing that, but I've also learned a lot from doing that. So, but what is different about us is that the experience that we can create for our clients, and I think that's why we've had clients that have been with us for the 50 years or the 52 years that we've been here. We literally have clients that have been with us the whole time. And our clients tend to stick with us. And they do that because we take care of them and we try to anticipate their needs. And we have, from the fact that, as I said, we talk about their money, but we also talk about their lives. We talk about their health and what they can do to have a healthy, long lifestyle. We don't want to run out of money, but we also don't want to run out of our health during our lifetime and spend all of our money at the end of our lifetime on sick care. We really want to try to and focus on what we call health care, which is what our country does not do, what this society does not do at this point in time, and I think that will change over time. But we're trying to do that for our clients today. We're trying to be in front of that, and we have a partnership and an alliance with Performance Medicine, which is the only medical practice in this part of the world that does that type of thing. And we can talk more about that at some other point in time. But that's one of the things. I mean, we provide names and lists should you need care, should you get sick and need care. We have relationships that we have developed with all the long-term care, assisted living, nursing homes around here. We have private caregiver lists that we provide for our clients. Again, we're trying to anticipate what their needs are going to be. Like I said, we've been doing this, and these are the things that happen in their lives, and people are scared and they don't have these resources, and we want to be that resource for people. And those are a couple of things right there we can kind of go through. We have relationships with accounting firms. We're not accountants, we're not attorneys, but we build relationships with those. We have lists of those. We try to put the right client with the right personality of CPA or attorney. Everybody's not going to be the same fit. So, our job is to know our clients, to love our clients. We call it hugging our customers. And we want to make sure that we understand them enough that we get them into the right places throughout their phases of life in doing that. Like I said, from the moment that we meet them, from they walk in and have that first visit to the very last time they come in, to when their kids are coming in here and meeting with us and we're passing it to the next generation, we really want to have that. They all have that experience that is second to none out there. Because like I said, most people think we're all the same. I think our Four Seasons experience changes that, and will show that we're not.
247-1152. Again, the website is BHRetire.com. Again, they're located here on Center Street in Kingsport. Again, securities and registered investment advisory services offered through Silver Oak Securities Incorporated, member of FINRA and SIPC. B&H Wealth Strategies and Silver Oak Securities Incorporated are not affiliated. 247-1152. Call today. Talk to Jeff and the staff folks about the Four Seasons experience. B&H Wealth Strategies, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Our buddy Jeff Bingham and Hensley, good morning again. We're live. Hello to JT Holloman. We are with folks here at Champion Chevrolet inside the studio, inside the showroom here at Champion Chevrolet is where we are. Broadcasting live again on this Thursday, again race week at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're going to be joined by Lisa Johnson coming up at the bottom of the hour from Food City, telling you all about tomorrow night's Food City Family Race Night. And also they made the announcement earlier in the week how, again, Food City, in celebration of the 100th anniversary, is a chain giving away $100,000 to charity. Pretty strong stuff. I like it. So, anyway, that's coming up again a little bit later on, and she'll join us coming up in a few minutes. Major League Baseball from yesterday and last night. Let's run them down for you. The Braves in 12 beat the Nationals 5-3. It was the Twins over the Astros, the defending world champions, 9-8. Brewers beat the Cardinals 3-2. White Sox 2, Rays 1. Mariners doubled up the Royals 4-2. Had a little skirmish between the Rockies and the Padres. The Rockies beat the Pods 6-4. Arizona 7, the Giants 3. Indians beat the Tigers 5-1. Daniel Norris had to come in a kind of emergency situation and got beat up a little bit yesterday. We'll tell you about that coming up here in a second. Phillies in 12 beat the Reds 4-3. Orioles over the Blue Jays 5-3. Yankees and Red Sox had a big-time skirmish last night. The rivalry has been renewed. I mean, it's kind of been sitting there for the last couple of years simmering, but it's kind of hit a full-blown pedal to the metal between the Yanks and the Bo Sox. And Yankees won it last night 10-7 after getting blown out the night before 14-1. Mets over the Marlins 4-1. We'll talk about them in a minute. Cubs all over the Pirates 13-5. Angels beat the Rangers 7-2. And so that was action last night in Major League Baseball. First team to win 10 games this season will be the New York Mets. The Mets, who had no hits entering the seventh, rallied to beat the Marlins on Wednesday night to improve the record at 10-1, off to the best start in franchise history. Go figure. Star of the show, starter Zach Wheeler, who was called up from AAA to plug the rotation spot for the injured Jason Vargas. Again, it was Wheeler outstanding across 7 innings, allowing only 2 hits while striking out 7. Mets swept their 6-game road trip through Washington and Miami. First time since way back in 1991 they swept a road trip of at least 6 games. And so, by the way, the Angels became the second team to win 10 this season. They finished their game a few hours after the Mets. So, big win there for, hello to Jeremy Marlar. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing, Bubba? Hope you're having a great day. As we told you, the Tigers lose yesterday. Detroit gets beat 5-1. Jason Zimmerman got hit on a line shot in the face, had to come off the field immediately, and so they go to the bullpen to get Daniel Norris to pitch, and didn't go well for Dino. Had a tough outing, so took the loss after giving up 4 earned runs on 7 hits and 1 walk across only 3 innings of work. He struck out 3. He was, again, pressed into an emergency situation. Never really got a chance to get totally limbered up, I don't think. Maybe that can be an alibi, but nonetheless, Norris, again, coming out of the bullpen immediately when the starter got hit in the face with a line drive and had to leave the ball game. Norris, again, went, 3 innings, gave up 4 earned runs on 7 hits, walked 1 and struck out 3, took the loss again as they lose. As we said, final score 5-1, the Indians got him. What else happening in sports? It was 4 homers in 2 days. Javier Baez, first Cubs player with back-to-back 2-homer games since Alfonso Soriano did it back in 2008. First player with back-to-back multi-homer games overall since Aaron Judge did it last September. So Javier Baez and the Cubs all over the Pirates 13-5. And again, 2 home runs in 2 consecutive games. Pretty impressive. Hello, Bill Patrick, for the young man from the Chicago Cubs. Back to the Red Sox and Yankees. David Price, who has New York Mayor Bill de Blasio on his side, took the mound against the Yankees on Wednesday night, hoping to maintain the good vibes that accompanied him this season. First 2 starts did not allow a run. He struck out 10 batters in 14 innings. Didn't happen last night. Yankees jumped all over him early, scoring 4 runs in the first inning. Long before the brawl, Giancarlo Stanton slammed a 2-run triple, a 418-foot triple into the Fenway Park center field triangle. And so Gary Sanchez followed with a 2-run shot over the Green Monster, 5th home run and 12 career at-bats against Price. Again, did not have a good start at all. The starter for the Boston Red Sox. So went 1 inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned, walked 2, struck out 1, and gave up the long ball to Sanchez. And so Price and again the Yankees and the Red Sox kind of got mixed up in a big-time bench clearing brawl last night. And so they had to separate them, and we'll see how it all shapes up again for the Major League Baseball commissioner will have to come up with a decision what he's going to do, who he's going to discipline because of the little fracas last night at Fenway Park between the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. They weren't the only teams to fight. Padres and Rockies also got into a scuffle following a string of hit batsmen. That's usually what triggers it in a big league baseball game, is somebody getting plunked, and so that's what happened. And so Perdomo and Arrondo got mixed up in that one, so that will result in some penalties, I'm sure, between the Rockies and the Padres for the Major League Baseball office. And Tyler Austin last night, going back to the Yankees Red Sox, charged the mound. Joe Kelly hit him with a pinch and apparently retaliation for a spikes high slide earlier in the game. So a little hurt feelings going on there. So he gets up to bat, Tyler Austin, and so Joe Kelly plunks him. Stanton and Judge towered over everyone on the field as they came out to try and establish some law and order. Both sides claimed innocence after the game. Austin said his slide was clean. Kelly claimed he was only trying to pitch inside, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Suspensions are coming. These two teams still have 17 games to play this year between the Yankees and the Red Sox. It's just getting started. Chances are this won't be the last time tempers flare. You better believe it won't. So it has been there, as we said, over the last couple of years, kind of simmering, kind of brewing, and so it blew open last night. Of course, the night before, the Red Sox beat them 14-1. That kind of added a little insult to injury. So stay tuned, Yankees and Red Sox. Here's your schedule for today. First off, a couple of one-day games. Tampa Bay at Chicago today. Under the lights tonight, Detroit at Cleveland. Toronto at Baltimore. The Yankees and Boston go at it again. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong date. I'm sorry. Nope. My bad. Got the wrong one. How did I picked up the wrong paper? I'm sorry. That is my bad. That's what happens when you're in a hurry. Here we go. Here's today's games. Lord. But they do play today and play tonight. Yankees and Boston. Gray for the Yanks and Porcello goes for the Red Sox. That'll be a wrap-up to the series tonight in Fenway. Detroit and Cleveland, everything under the lights tonight. Chicago at Minnesota, and the Angels in Kansas City. In the National League, one-day game. You have the Buccos in Chicago to take on Kyle Hendricks and the Cubbies. St. Louis Waka in Cincinnati against Romano tonight. Cardinals and the Reds, Colorado at Washington, and San Francisco at San Diego. That's your Major League Baseball schedule for this Thursday, April the 12th, 2018. We are live again. We're at Champion Chevrolet. Again, we'll be joined by our buddy coming up next half hour, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet, our buddy Andy Dietrich. We'll take a quick break, come right back, and we'll jump in and we'll go to the phone and check in with Lisa Johnson from she's going to join us again coming up from Food City. Food City Family Race Night coming up tomorrow night from 4 until 9 o'clock, and they continue to add drivers. It's free admission, and so we'll tell you all about that. It's going to be from 4 to 9 tomorrow night, right outside Turn 4 in the hospitality portion of Bristol Motor Speedway, Hospitality Village, as they call it. And so a big night tomorrow night. It'll pack them in, I promise you. The weather's going to be beautiful today and tomorrow for racing, and Saturday. Sunday, a little iffy on Sunday, but again, just to give you a official statement, NASCAR makes the NASCAR mandates any schedule changes, and usually television gets involved too. Speedway, each track each week has input, but ultimately NASCAR makes the call, and they'll get the call also with help from TV, because television, whether you want to concede it or not, it drives the bus more times than not. So they'll make a call about their programming, and the track does have input, but again, any schedule changes at any track, not just at Bristol Motor Speedway, more times than not comes directly from NASCAR. They make the call. So anyway, if there's any cancellations or movement of races or anything going on anytime in the NASCAR season, whether it's trucks, Xfinity, or Cup, always remember it comes more times than not, and primarily from the officials from NASCAR. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here again. We are. Here's our buddy. Here he is, our buddy Tim Copenhaver from Champion Chevrolet here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from, with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500, 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD, 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Trax in Malibu, 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
The savings continue the month of April at Max Medismart in Kingsport. All natural factors, 20% off the entire month of April. Products like folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules to lose weight, vitamin B12, Stress Relax, which are tranquil sleep chewables, all 20% off the month of April. Easy Iron, niacin tablets, vitamin C, calcium, over 100 different supplements of natural factors, all 20% off the month of April. No coupons, no limits. A flat 20% off anytime you buy natural factors in April at Max Medicine Mart. Make tracks to Max. Center Street in Kingsport, where natural factors are 20% off the month of April at Max Medicine Mart. Our great sponsor at Sprint, giving you a chance to save at all Sprint stores across the Tri-Cities. When you go into any Sprint store and say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball, they'll give you 25% off or a fourth off any accessory in the store. That would include Urban Armor gear cases, OtterBox cases, any screen protectors, tempered glass 25% off, wireless charging stands, pop sockets, tablet cases, wireless chargers, battery packs are all 25% off when you say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabeth and Cyclone Baseball. Also, Beats headphones, both the headphones and the earbuds, 25% off when you say you heard the show. Also, 3-piece magnetic organizers, battery packs, tablet cases, JBL portable flip speakers. It goes on and on. Anything accessory in the store at any Sprint store in the Tri-Cities, say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show and or Elizabeth and Cyclone Baseball, and save 25% off today at your Sprint store.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live at Champion Chevrolet. Hello, Scott Hyatt watching. Thank you, my friend, and Bill Patrick and Andy Thaxton up in West Virginia. Hello to you. And let's go to the phone. She's here. She's our buddy Lisa Johnson with one of our great sponsors, Food City. Good morning, young lady. How are you?
Well, good morning. I am absolutely fantastic. I'm all excited about our upcoming racing activities this week. Absolutely.
Now, you and I saw each other Saturday when Drew Hemmer went down the side of the wall over the edge for Speedway Children's Charities, and we had a chance to talk up there in the PA on Saturday, and we got all excited about Food City Family Race Night, which is here. It is tomorrow night, and it's going to be a great crowd, great weather for it, free admission. So kind of tease us what's going to be going on tomorrow night.
Hey, listen, we are going to have a fabulous day tomorrow. The event is from 4 to 9. It is free admission. You know, we've got a lot of great entertainment lined up that's going to be performing on the stage. We've got some Q&As with Richard Childress and his drivers. We've got some Q&As with Johnny Davis and his drivers. We're going to have all kinds of interactive games on the stage and featuring several of the heavy hitter drivers. We've got some of the Dash for Cash drivers that are going to be with us at Food City Family Race Night. We've got Daniel Hemmer, we've got Cole Custer, and we've got Ryan Prince. And you know, talking about drivers, we have so many heavy hitter drivers that are going to be there signing autographs. We've got Martin Truex Jr., we've got Bubba Wallace, we've got Ricky Stenhouse. Of course, we have Kyle Busch, and I'm super excited, Tom, because we are going to get the opportunity to honor the 2017 NASCAR Monster Champion, Martin Truex, on stage.
Wow, that is going to be neat. That's going to be coming up tomorrow evening from 4 to 9, right outside Turn 4 in the Hospitality Village. Just look for the crowd because this is a big-time crowd pleaser, and so you'll have, as you mentioned, the drivers. You're going to be having the commercial characters, show vehicles, booths and displays, food sampling. It all gets started at 4 o'clock. It's a free event. Always a huge turnout. So that's tomorrow night, Food City Family Race Night. Also, you'll be passing out some checks because every year you make check donations through checks, I should say, the big giant checks to lots of nonprofit organizations. Tell me about that.
Well, we're actually going to be doing a pledge to PBA Mission Able. With Richard Petty on stage, Food City is going to do a $25,000 pledge to the program, and Coke is going to be doing a $10,000 pledge to PBA as well.
That's awesome. PBA is Paralyzed Veterans of America, which, of course, the ambassador and the spokesperson is the King, Richard Petty. We are talking to Lisa Johnson, Food City Family Race Night you see on the screen, and we are talking about what's going on tomorrow night. But Lisa, you made an announcement earlier in the week, you and Steve and the folks, a big, I think this is awesome. $100,000 going to charity to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Food City as a store chain, and very, very exciting. And a lot of folks, nonprofits, are going to benefit from this. Tell me about it.
You know, they are, and it's so exciting for us, and you know, so exciting for the charities out there that you can vote on. We're going to be dividing the money up between 4 locations, and so folks can actually go in and vote for their charity of choice to receive the funds. And we're super excited about that. That's an additional $100,000 just in honor of Food City's 100th anniversary.
Always, always, always give back to the community. That's why I take so much pride in going out and doing these shows on Fridays, because if it's not juvenile diabetes, it is the Red Cross, or when we've had hurricane situations, we've done food supply drives. I know over the Christmas holidays we did a drive for animal shelters, so always doing something. And so here we go again, giving away $100,000 of charity. There's 4 locations. We're worried, of course, about the Tri-Cities location. That's when we're talking it up. Each location, you go to, is it foodcity.com where you go to find out more? Is that the website?
Foodcity.com? Yes, yes, foodcity.com, and you'll be able to register for the charity of your choice in your area.
Yep.
And you can register one time for that charity.
Yep.
Or you can vote one time for that charity.
Yep. So the number one charity will get $12,500. The second most popular charity gets $7,500, and the third most popular charity vote on the votes by you, the shopper, will get $5,000. So any of those would certainly be a big shot in the arm for nonprofit organizations. So go to foodcity.com to check that out. And then also, last but not least, you brought back something very popular over the years. You brought it back again. Tell us about what's going on with Food City as far as the treasure hunt.
You know, that is such an exciting program. You know, we did this many years ago, and it was so successful, and everybody loved it. You know, it was so exciting when you were in the treasure hunt van and you had your lights flashing. You know, we would, randomly select locations, and we would just go knock on their door. You know, we'll have the lights flashing, and, you know, the customer will have the opportunity to be able to pull out private label brands, and for each one that they pull out, they get $100. And just by showing their Food City value card, they get $200, and they can earn as much as $10,000 if they've got that many products in their home.
Wow. As you're saying that, I'm drinking a Food
It's
Club.
so much fun.
Oh, yeah. And as you're saying that, I'm drinking a Food Club peach drink.
That Food Club water would, that Food Club water would earn you $100.
Yeah. There you go. And then if I had my Food City value card, what you do in my billfold, then that would give me some more money. So this starts now and runs
$200.
Exactly. And so that starts now and runs until what, June? Is that right?
I believe that's correct. I don't have the information in front of me, but we are super excited about that program. It's so much fun for us to go out and be able to do that for our customers. And, of course, you know, we all have so much fun with that. And the customers does as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, everybody wins. Everybody has smiles. You guys give smiles as you're giving out money, and the recipient's smiling because they get the money. So everybody wins. It's a great promotion. And, once again, Food City is first-class operation. Lisa, thank you. We'll see you up there tomorrow night. Can't wait. And thank you. I know you're busy. Appreciate your time, and I'll see you tomorrow, all right?
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, what a classy lady. I appreciate her very, very much. Again, Lisa Johnson from Food City Family Race Night. So, again, go to foodcity.com, and you can see there's 4 different regions. The Food City has 130 stores in 4 states. And so the Tri-Cities region, the Alzheimer's of East Tennessee, Speedway Children's Charities, Abuse Alternatives, those are some of the ones that jump out at me that I can remember off the top of my head. Just go to foodcity.com. You can see the list. And so once you begin to vote, again, the top voting charity from you, the shopper and consumer, will get $12,500. So let me make sure I'm explaining this right. There's 4 different regions. So the Tri-Cities, number one voter gets $12,500. The second most popular charity gets $7,500, and the third most popular charity gets $5,000. So that's what's going on at each of the 4 geographic regions of Food City's area of shopping influence. So hello, Sue Bishop. Had her son on the other day talking from Morris Regional Blood Center. So she's a sweetheart. Miss Sue, hope you're having a great day on this Thursday. Again, thanks again to Lisa Johnson. We're here live at Champion Chevrolet, and we are ready to roll for a break and come right back. And when we do, we've got Carmichael joining us at the top of the hour. Coming up next, looks like we got my man coming. Yep, the co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. Our buddy Andy Dietrich's going to join us coming up next year. We'll take a look at, what we got coming up next? Oh, the very latest on the Dobbins football search for the new coach. Also, we'll take a look at some other sports. Another young man locally got named the brand new coach, University of North Carolina, Asheville, UNC Asheville, Elizabeth and Tri-Cities youngin. So that's big news. So we'll tell you all about that coming up here just in a few minutes as we're live here at Champion Chevrolet. Number one Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more Chevys, more bow ties, if you will, than the folks here at Champion from Mountain City, Memphis, and they take great pride in that. Over the last 10 years, they have been, to say the least, the dominant dealership in the state of Tennessee with respect to the sales of Chevrolets, no question. Quick break for Chick-fil-A. We'll be right back. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on show number 727 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
This is Andrew McKeon, president of Carter County Bank. Carter County is blessed with amazing characteristics. Natural beauty, caring people, and locally owned small businesses all make our community one of the best places in America to live. Remember to support Carter County small businesses with your purchases, because for every $100 you spend at a Carter County-owned business, $45 stays here to create local jobs and support our schools. When you spend $100 at a national chain store, only $14 remains in our community. So no matter where you roam, hurry back home. Let's pull together to support local business and make our
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Trax in Malibu 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look at him right there. Won't you come a little closer? So you want to go? You want to be? There we go. Let's do this. Let me get him in the side. I just don't want to get.
Don't break it.
I don't want to get Chris on there. See, I don't.
I don't want Chris on there.
No, we don't want Chris either. Hello, Renee. Hello, Susan Bishop. Hello, Scott Hyatt. Hello, Jeremy Marler. Hello to JT Holloman, dear friend.
JT.
Oh yeah, love that guy. He is awesome. That's Betsy's better half, and so, or maybe she's his better half. Maybe they're both their better halves.
They're good for one another.
Okay.
Two good souls
Two nice
have found each other.
There we go. Tweet, tweet. There you go. All right. So, trucks up there yet for Ride of a Lifetime? You delivered them?
Yeah, they're up there, and we delivered 28 tram trucks. Those big diesel crew cabs, we'll probably get 8 or 9 of them back. So if you've been holding out on a crew cab 2500 diesel, been waiting for a good deal, we get to buy them back cheaper than if they were shipped here to be sold as new, even though they'll probably have 70 to 120 miles on them, still brand new, never been titled. They're just special event vehicles because the track used them just to pull people around on property only. They're the best deal when they come back here. So they're either coming white or black. You got to like one of those two colors with black guts.
There you go.
But they're loaded Premier LTZs, sunroofs, heated, cooled seats. You name it, it's got it.
Slightly used.
Really, it's
not even slightly.
Not even slightly. Nobody's really ridden in it except for the driver, and they just pull a tram, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's on property only.
Yes. So if you're looking for, those will be back here next week.
Yeah, we should have them probably Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. So if you're looking for, now tell us what kind of trucks those are
They're
again.
2018 2500 heavy-duty Silverado crew cab, diesel, four-wheel drive, Premier LTZ, sunroofs, heated cool seats. It's got the fuzzy dice, vibrating seats, neon lights. No, wait, those last 2 things, I was just kidding. But it's got everything on them. They're nice. We had them here, got them ready before we hauled them up to the track end of last week. But they are super nice vehicles. We get to buy them back less than what we paid if we were to get them originally for, an invoice from the factory. So we get to buy them back under that, and we get to pass the savings along to the customer.
2018 Chevy
2500
LTZ
diesel crew cab, which is 4 full doors.
There you go. I'm writing this down because we're going to talk about this next week after the race because they're going to be here.
Yep. When do you move in down there, Mr. Voice of the Bristol Motor Speedway?
We'll be moving in today.
Today.
As soon as I leave here, we'll be making a little jaunt up there, and then we'll...
You're doing the Bush's pole.
Bush's Beans Pole Day.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
on Friday.
Yeah.
And then the Fitzgerald Glider Kits
300.
Say that really fast.
Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300.
Well, you're a
Eric
radio
Jones, the
personality.
two-time defending champion of the race. Then we'll follow it up
Zombie.
with the Zombie Auto 150.
Yes.
Harrison Burton. The
Zombies will be driving the race cars around the track. It's something like The Walking Dead. If you like The Walking Dead and want to see zombies drive race cars, it's great. Is that right? Is that what?
Exactly right.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm going to be there to watch the zombies. I've never seen a zombie drive a race car, so I'm...
The K&N Series.
Well, he's sponsored by Zombies.
Yes.
I'm
Harrison
sorry.
Burton, the son of former NASCAR driver Jeff Burton, is the defending champ of the race. Now, last year was the fall race, the spring race. You brought back pictures of a greased pig up there. You tried to pot-belly pig.
I think that was fall.
In the campground.
I think that was in August.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking for it again.
Yeah. One of his fellow campers up there in the campground had themselves a pet pot-belly pig.
Yep. I hope it's still alive and they haven't eaten it, but we won't talk about that.
All right, let's run down your list of camp. You got your camper up there. Check. Camper's there.
Check.
Food.
Half check.
Half check.
Dry goods I took up yesterday. Cold goods will go tomorrow.
Going tomorrow, which includes meat.
Filet.
Filet.
I was making a list upstairs a minute ago. Got bacon, eggs, sausage, filet. Food City does a real good. If you go to their meat, what's that? The counter in the back, the meat section.
Meat department.
Meat
yes.
department. Yeah, that's what it's called. That thing back in the back.
Back there.
But right there where they keep the fillets and
Right.
the ribeyes and everything behind the glass case, they got a real good thing. They're twice baked potatoes, and you can buy them. And what I do is I throw them on the grill with the fillets, and they're really good. So I've got to get that.
That does sound good.
Some orange juice for breakfast.
Uh-huh.
But I took all the good stuff. I took Reese's peanut butter cups and Little Debbie oatmeal cookies out yesterday. Food City. Have you ever seen the party snacks they've got there outside the bakery? You can buy them. They make them there. And I bought 3 tubs of those.
There you go.
But it's all about having fun and partying and eating.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Good time. I ran into Andy. He was shopping. He and I were shopping at Food City the other night. Ran into him and the kids doing some shopping. So now, was that for the campground? Or was that just for the household?
That was just for the kids to survive the rest of the week.
You got
But
it.
I had to cut my conversation short with you because I said my kids were probably going to burn the store down if I didn't go make sure one of them had the 9-year-old had the grocery cart and he rammed it into me twice while I was trying to carry on a conversation. My kids are usually good. Let me just back this up. They were sort of full of themselves from a long day, and no excuses, but they were sort of buck wild.
Yeah. So, but
9 and 12-year-olds get that way from
There
time
you
to
go.
time. You know that.
and he roped them in pretty quick. So you got meats in. Now, who's bunking up here at this? First off, how big is this camper hold? How many folks?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it could hold up to 9. I had 11 in there after the football game, in 16.
So you got 7 folks or 9 folks in the bunk in.
I don't think that many. I don't think that many people are going to stay this weekend because it's my campsite next door where the Chevy executive always comes in because it's a Chevy track. He is not making it this race, so he usually brings the Hendrick. The Hendrick guys bring a big 5th wheel, and one of the guys works directly for Rick Hendrick, and they always the Chevy guy and the Rick Hendrick people all bunk next door to me, and they're not coming this year, so it won't be as wild and crazy and as festive because they're always a fun group of guys, and they go to a lot of races, and they just like to sit around the fire at night and tell funny stories. There's one of the police officers that's on duty for security at night. He'll come up there at night, and he's a good storyteller and tells the stories, and I can't repeat the stories on air, but they're very funny stories.
Very funny stories.
Yes.
So this is just kind of a bonding thing up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Around the campfire and some eats and drinks and sodas and whatever.
Drinks? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Soda
Kool-Aid,
pops, yeah, soda pops, and those kind of things.
Yeah, I want to
Now,
make
who
sure
does
water.
There you go. Now, who does? There you go, right here. Food City peach water, man. It's good for your voice. Now,
Good for your voice.
Yes, that's what you want. I'm telling you.
Hi, I'm Tom Taylor.
It saves you. I'm telling
Sports
you.
show.
Hello, baby. Barry White, who loves you, baby. Now, who does the cooking at the campground?
Wah.
You're cooking.
Yeah, I bought this thing a couple years ago. It's really cool. It's just it's a griddle. It's a flat. It's almost like a miniature hibachi. You know, chopping up.
Are you throwing silverware up?
Yes,
there?
and doing the onion with the choo-choo. You know, and you know.
Would you video? Can you video this for me? Can you live stream it?
Yeah, probably can.
I would love to see you up there with knives trying to slice up onions in front of people.
Yeah, I could do it. I could do it.
Yep.
It's but no, it's just a miniature hibachi grill, and it's good for. I do my eggs and bacon sausage on it, and I do a regular gas grill for the fillets. But I do all the cooking.
So this is a process. I mean, you thought this out. This is a really big deal. He's got hibachis and got grills, and he's got.
Well, Tom, do I look like I mess around? Like
No.
when I do something, I don't do it halfway.
No, babe, you're all the way.
I'm all in,
That's
and then
it.
some more. Sometimes I get
Which
too
means-
far in, and I have to have somebody help me
say,
pull me out. But
by definition, it means over the top at times.
over
right?
the top,
Yeah.
like a couple of years ago when I had a hot tub, portable hot tub up there.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Coleman sells a portable hot tub.
Did it really?
Yes.
It's inflatable, I would assume.
It's
right?
inflatable, but when you blow it up, it's sort of got hard sides. You can actually sit on the sides of it, and it doesn't fall
Really?
in. It comes with a one pump motor thing. It's just, and it controls the heat, the filtration, and the jets out of one unit. And you hook it to it. You fill it up full of water and leave it overnight, and you can set the temperature. It got up to about 100 degrees, which it wasn't a lot of fun, I'll be honest, during the football game when the water was 100 degrees and we were on blacktop and it was 90 degrees outside. It makes it a little uncomfortable.
A little uncomfortable. So could I fit down in this portable hot tub?
Yes, you could.
Really?
Yes, you could.
Most of them I can't get in because.
If I bring another one up there, we will do your show live while you're sitting in the hot tub.
There you go. In the
Yeah.
fall.
What was that show? Or it was on Saturday Night Live, an oldie. What was it, Eddie Murphy? And he came out and he took off his robe and he's in his bathing suit and he stuck his toe in the hot tub and he goes, "Too hot for the hot tub." And he's sort of like a James Brown rendition. Do you remember that? That's like way old. That's early 80s.
Oh.
Too hot for the hot tub. Ow.
Would you say hello to my buddy Ryan Presnell?
Hello,
baseball
Ryan
coach at
Presnell, Elizabethton baseball coach.
Class act. He's got tickets to go to Food City 500. He's ready.
Oh, good.
You can have him over. So when you start cooking, again, we're talking to anybody. His campground up at the Speedway. He camps up there and bunks in and cooks and has a big time.
When I move in tomorrow, I'm not coming out till Sunday night. I mean, when I go in, I don't come out.
It's like a mole.
I mean,
When
it's
he's
like
he's in.
I mean, they would have to haul me out either on a stretcher or in the back of a police car to get me out of there because I'm done.
Oh.
You stick a fork in me.
That's it.
But
So.
And so it's fun and for like the football game, I ended up cooking. I cooked 30 fillets, 30 chicken breasts, had probably 200 shrimp cocktail and a barbecue platter pan that fed 100, and there was nothing left before the football game. All wiped. I cooked all the chicken on the grill and the fillets.
Now, Presnell says this tailgate sounds legendary. May have to drop in. See, there you go. You're already starting to get folks.
Well,
in.
it's easy to find.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's easy to find.
What? Do you have any flags flying? What would distinguish your camping spot from other people?
Well,
big Chevrolet bow tie, big Champion Chevrolet sign, or
no?
No.
The campground I'm in is a nice campground, and I've got a good size travel trailer, but I'll go up there like yesterday, and there's not many people there yet. I'll pull in tomorrow, and I won't be able to find my camper because everybody's got these big buses, those Prevosts and stuff. And I'm thinking, where'd my camper go? Somebody's moved it, and I can't find it. And I'm all proud of what I've got. And then there's a $1 million Prevost people that are retired, sold their house, that they travel from race to race across the country, and they pulled in beside of me. I mean, one of them was so big one year that pulled in beside me. It started raining one night, and we just slid our chairs back under their slide outs and sat under their slide outs.
Okay, so can you take a picture of your camper? I'd like to see your camper. This is good stuff.
Oh, I got a picture from yesterday. I got a panoramic.
Yeah.
But not many people were there yet.
Yeah. We're talking to Andy Dietrich. We're live. Carmichael. Can I put this up?
That's sort of the setup there. The camper.
I can see that. It's not the best shot, but there it is. There's Andy's camper.
Yep.
So,
that's yesterday.
is there a name for this place? Is it like the Ponderosa, or do you have a name for your camper?
It's
Andy's
don't
place?
know. I never named my camper, but it's in the campground right above the drag strip. Andy's Ponderosa.
Andy's Ponderosa. The Dewdrop Inn. I like that one better.
Well,
so can I get over there? Can I come if I have a downtime? And can I come over there and get some snacks or whatever?
You know what I'll do for you, Tom?
Oh, what will you do for me?
If you saw in that picture, I've got a.
Hello, Chris Cannon, by the way.
I've got a. That Chris Cannon, Cannon Furniture.
It says Chris Cannon's watching. He's a good man, whoever he is. He's watching the show.
But I've got a Kawasaki Mule I keep up there, and I drive around on property. I will come pick you up over the track and bring you over.
Ooh. So I got a little downtime tomorrow. Probably have some downtime. You up there tomorrow?
Tomorrow evening.
That's it. Saturday I'm working, Sunday I'm working, so maybe not. But
well, here's what you need to do. You go in tomorrow, record some things you think you would say, and just put it on, and then come up and hang out for a little bit.
Just let it run.
Yeah, just let it run.
Endless loop.
Just endless loop, like sort of like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know, when he put the dummy in the bed and recorded his sounds of him sleeping, and he snuck out of the house on a sick day. You could do that.
We're talking to Andy Dietrich, owner of Champion Chevrolet. We are, Renee says, nice camper, Andy. So there you go.
There you go.
I liked it. So we can come up. You need to have a contest. You need to name your camper.
Okay.
We need to do some kind of a
Leroy or Betsy or
the Dewdrop Inn, or you want to give it a name?
Oh, a name. Oh, you like on the back of a boat, like people do.
Yeah, the USS
Minnow.
Dietrich or something. Now, does any of your fellow workers come up and enjoy?
Yeah, some of them will.
Okay, so
I'm sort of hard to get to. I'm up on top of a hill, and you got to walk a long ways.
It's like a compound, right?
Well, they want to keep me sort of out of the way because
I can understand that.
I don't know if the Speedway's embarrassed of me, but they want to sort of let's put Andy way over here.
It says back 40 on his little spot where he camps. That's good. Now, do you have a driver when you get? I assume you go to the race, right? I know you're up there having a big time, but you actually go to the races. Do you have a particular driver you follow?
There's a race this weekend?
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Do you have a particular driver you are fond of?
Well, I'm struggling this year because I always, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and then Jeff Gordon,
right,
were my two. So I'm
time to transition.
Time to transition. Bubba, he's pretty cool.
You like Bubba Wallace?
Yeah.
Okay. What about?
He seems like he's just a real deal, down to earth, and it was so fun watching him being interviewed after the Daytona 500. He finished second, I believe, didn't he? Or third, second.
Mr. Dillon. Now, I would think, being inside of a Chevy dealership, the guy you don't want to follow is Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion.
Yeah. Wow, I read that about him losing the Lowe's sponsorship. That was sort of mind blowing. But yeah, Jimmy Johnson's my, another guy.
There you go. All right. So what else do we have going on?
We got Speedway Children's Charity Dinner tonight.
Yes, it is. You going?
Yep.
Larry McReynolds, Ray Everett. How come you didn't come off the side of the building? I thought you was going to be up there Saturday doing the.
Well, I had to go to Vegas last week for the Chevy dealer annual meeting.
I called Andy last week, and this is what I get. Do you know what time it is? No, I don't know what time. I'm in Vegas. I didn't know he was in Vegas. I got you. What time was it when I got you out of bed?
It's like 5 a.m. Thanks, Tom. Usually when you go to Vegas, you stay out late and you sleep in, and then somebody from here calls you at 5 a.m. Vegas time.
I didn't know he was in Vegas. He didn't. His secretary didn't give me his itinerary. Yeah. So, what did you drive?
What didn't I drive? I got to drive the new 19 Silverado, the new body style. Got to drive it on a road course. I got to drive the Colorado ZR2 Crew Cab diesel. ZR2's off-road package. Got to drive it on an off-road course. I got to go for a ride with a race car driver in the new 2019 Corvette ZR1 755 horsepower. I've got a video of it on my phone. It actually scared me. I don't get scared easily, but it was a beast. He got it airborne at one point in time.
Oh, really? You care to tell us what the...
I posted the video on my Facebook page.
What the odometer said?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I was just looking straight ahead. That's anytime you'll learn. Anytime you go to I did this exotic race car school once, and I've done this out several years ago in Spring Mountain in Las Vegas before when I drove a Corvette. When you're driving that hard and that fast, you don't look at the speedometer.
No.
You just drive as hard as you can.
You got to focus on what's going on.
Yes.
You just know you're going fast.
The only reason I know I hit 185 miles an hour in a race car Ferrari back in August is because they had a video of it and gave it to me after the fact. It had the RPMs, the miles per hour, the G-forces, if I was using brake or gas, and it had a video of that going forward, video of me, and I have it all in my desk here in a zip drive. But I know I hit 185 when I watched the video.
185?
Driving, yes.
You were driving?
I was driving.
185 mile an hour. Okay.
Yep.
So what's coming out 19? Well, what out of everything you drove, what really excites you is going to be here for 19?
Well, they had a thing, too, set up inside the Mandalay Bay. Imagine the biggest room in Meadowview over here, completely gutted, nothing in it. And they had these strip lights on the floor that made a roadway inside there. And we got to drive electric cars inside Mandalay Bay. And they let us compare the Chevrolet Bolt, B-O-L-T, and the Volt, V-O-L-T, and also BMW's electric car, Tesla, the Toyota Prius, and I think Ford's Focus electric car. And you could hop in each one and drive it and see how they all compare, but driving inside because they don't have any emissions. So that was neat. It's called Electric Avenue, and I never have done that before, and that was really, really neat.
Electric Avenue.
Electric Avenue. So, but it looks like we in the.
People love this segment. You know that, don't you? I mean, these people are just blowing up here. It's like, you guys are crazy, and Andy's funny, and one of them said, "Don't pick Kyle Busch." Renee said, "Don't pick JoJo Bradley."
No, I don't pick Kyle Busch.
No, so
it's always great watching him walk in when they do the driver introductions. You never know what he's going to do. If he's going to just drop the mic.
Drop the microphone. A couple of years ago, he introduced me. He said, "I need no introduction. Just drop the mic." Placement. They about booted him out
Goldberg's
there.
Doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You Goldberg.
Yeah.
You work out with him, don't you?
Have I told you the Goldberg story?
No.
All right. 2 or 3 years ago, up here was in a rain delay. We're doing driver intros up in Victory Lane. So I'm standing going through my notes, and this guy's standing. I didn't pay attention. It was Goldberg. "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" I said, "Good." Goldberg said, "Okay." I said, "You're a pretty big boy." Okay, and I'm going through my notes, getting ready to driver intro. He said, "You're a pretty big boy." I said, "Okay." He said, "I could take you." It's like, okay.
You should have said, "Let's throw down right here."
Well, so I said, "Okay, let's give us some pictures." We got a picture. I need to bring it and show it to you where we went like this, and we kind of paired off. And so then he goes like this, like, "You're just too big, too tough." So it's kind of neat.
Wow. Well, I got one for you, too.
Go ahead.
Well, I've got a picture of Goldberg on my phone. But when Evander Holyfield was there a couple years ago.
Did you try and bite his ear? Tell me you didn't bite his ear.
No, but I saw a guy try to get him to pose with him like this at his ear.
Do you remember the year LeBron was there? People said LeBron was at Bristol Motor Speedway.
I never saw him.
He did they had a basket set up on the start-finish line for Sprite back in the day, and he shot some baskets. It's been probably 8 or 9 years ago now. LeBron was at BMS for a little.
I've got one for you.
Go ahead.
And I missed it, and I'm sick about it to this day. Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock were up there. Kid Rock had played in Bristol, and he stayed for the race. And he and Pamela, that's when he was dating her. We're up there, and I didn't get to see her. I didn't really care about seeing him. But
you just want to see him.
Yeah, I just. The Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy's always up there usually.
Yeah.
Vince, yep. And
Buffer, Michael Buffer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Vince McMahon, Michael Buffer.
No, not Vince.
Let's get ready to. If you say that in a public setting, it's a $10,000 fine. It's copyrighted.
Is this public?
I didn't go all the way through. I stopped.
Oh, okay.
So you can't.
Safe.
Let's get, and I stopped.
He's got it trademarked and patented.
Patented. $10,000 a penalty. I read where somebody did that at an athletic event, and they swooped down and sent him an invoice, and he had to pay it.
Really?
Oh yes. Oh yes. So
I met Charlie Daniels up there.
Awesome guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can I tell you one more story?
Yeah.
We'll go to the break. Can't remember what year it was now. They all run together, but a gubernatorial candidate, Bill Haslam, was there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're sitting there shooting
He was
the
there
bull.
for the football game, too.
Yeah, so we're sitting there shooting the bull, getting ready to Mark count me down. So he's going to do driver start your engines. Night race. We're talking like this. God is my witness. I get ready to they're counting me down, going 3, 2. Most inappropriate time a bug flew down my throat. So, and it's stuck right here. And so all I can come out with is, ladies and gentlemen, and my voice starts cracking like Mr. Haney. And he did that right. He kind of went like, are you okay? And I'm going, I'm on national TV gagging down a fly or bug flew down my throat, which is a little bit of embarrassing.
That's awesome. Not really,
That's
but
my claim to fame. Yeah. So that's what I did. I did like this. Andy,
you sound like you're
co-owner
really
of
good
Mr.
at talking
Douglas.
like that.
Mr. Douglas, have I got a deal? You remember Green Acres?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so we've got, tell me what's going on in the month of April before we take a break here.
We've got 0% up to 72 months on Suburbans, 18 models, not 17, 18s. We've got 11 grand off on Crew Cab, All-Star Silverados. I'm trying to think, I don't have any flyers in front of me. I'm trying to wing it.
You'll bring me a flyer? You can do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got, there's big rebates, discounts. There's still a lot of down payment assistance when you finance with GM Financial on a lot of vehicles. Interest rates are still crazy low. Just so you know, interest rates will continue going up because the Federal Reserve has put in their minutes that they're going to continue raising interest rates, and that does affect car loans. So if you're holding out thinking rates are going to get lower, they're not. They're still low, but they're not going to get any better. So now's the time before they raise them again. They meet every quarter. So now's the time to buy it.
If you're going to do it, now's the time to do it?
Yes, sir.
Well, then that's what we need to do, get in here. And so, Champion Chevrolet, ChampionJC.com, get the #1 Chevy deal in the state.
6 out of 11 years.
Yep.
We've been here.
Yep. And it keeps on keeping on. And so far, we're 12 days into the month, whatever people buy into this point. Excuse me.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Used cars. Saturday, we ended up selling 9 cars, no new, all used.
All used.
Monday, all used. We sold some new on Tuesday and yesterday, but it was like, it's used car month for some reason. It is just,
You never know, do you?
I wish I had 2 Champion lots just full of used cars. It's just like, it's just how it runs sometimes.
There you go. ChampionJC.com. Job, my friend. Quick break.
I'll see you at Food City later.
Here we go. Food City?
Yeah.
Be there later?
Yeah.
Meat department, that place in the
Meat
back.
bar. I got to
that
get the eggs and bacon and sausage.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live here again at Champion Chevrolet. Here's our buddy Phil Pipkin of Phil's Dream Pit on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back with my buddy Phil, Phil's Dream Pit again, the quest for perfect barbecue. And tell us about, big guy, tell us about the Dream Packs at Phil's Dream Pit.
So we offer these Dream Packs that we offer them in equal numbers. So like 4, 8, 12, 20, 24. I mean, we can do them as much as 100 people or more. We've had them go out for 300 people. But the Dream Packs are, it comes with the pork, the sauce, the buns, and 3 sides. So you could do like beans, potato salad, and coleslaw. The price ends up costing you a little under $7 a person, which is an unbelievable value around here.
Well, obviously spring's right around the corner, and you're looking at people on the move, going to ball games and Little League games and just being on the move. So this is a great way to come in and get a Dream Pack. And or if you got an event in the backyard, a cookout, or whatever you got going on, this is a great way to feed the gang, right?
It is. And another benefit of it is sometimes people are having rehearsal dinners and they'll have volunteers from their church that will serve. So this is a very inexpensive way to hold your costs down for your rehearsal dinner or your wedding. We do offer full service catering. The price goes up a little bit to have our whole crew out there, but you could do the value packs too and have folks from church serve it and cost you under $7 a person.
Let's squeeze in too before I let him go. Meat by the pound. So again, another event coming up that you just want to come out here and buy this great meat by the pound. You do that as well.
I do. We offer the pulled chicken. We offer brisket by the pound, pork by the pound, chicken salad by the pound. The chicken salad, kind of give us a heads up if you're going to want 4 or 5 pounds of that, because we try not to make that much of it at once.
And all this on the website.
And philsdreampit.com.
Yep.
It has our catering menu. It also has our in-house menu and the value packs, and just an awesome deal.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, they're physically located right off Interstate 26, the Eastern Star exit. So, Phil's Dream Pit, philsdreampit.com. The Quest for Perfect Barbecue, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. There he is, our buddy Carmichael in the house. Make sure you get this a little bit. There we go. There he is. Good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's the beautiful Chamber of Commerce Thursday afternoon.
Beautiful.
Bristol people must be loving this.
Oh, loving it. The world's last great Coliseum, 14 miles up the road, will be the hub of NASCAR for the next 3 or 4 days, and starts tomorrow, Bush's Beans Pole Day. Racing on Saturday, racing on Sunday, and then, of course, we'll all head off to Richmond and come back in August for another big 3 nights of racing in August, the truck race and the Food City 300 Xfinity Series, and, of course, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race coming up in August. But this weekend, it is racing 14 miles up the road. We're going to talk about that coming up here in a second, but let's jump in here and take a look at, hello, young man, how are you? You living the dream? Having a good time? You're running with a fine fella right there, Mr. McCall. He's a good one. He says, they're taking my money. There you go. All right, let's start with the National Hockey League. Last night, your winners, Penguins, all over the Flyers, 7-0. Game 1 of the best of 7. Jets 3, Minnesota 2, Vegas. The Golden Knights over the Kings 1-0. Your assessment of night 1 of the NHL.
Last night, Matt Murray, his 3rd consecutive playoff shutout, the last 2 games of the Stanley Cup final last year against the Predators. And then last night against Philadelphia, they got out to a quick start. Sidney Crosby has a hat trick, 3 goals early in the game. Philadelphia wasn't in it. Let's see if they can compete. Philadelphia didn't get into the playoffs till the last day of the regular season with a win over the Rangers. The Winnipeg Jets, former Atlanta Thrashers, kind of broke my heart when they left Atlanta, but they went to Winnipeg, won their first playoff game ever in the new Atlanta Thrasher Winnipeg Jet team. They won last night, played well. They've been one of the highest scoring teams in the playoffs, a team that I thought could give Nashville a lot of trouble if they do meet in the playoffs. Played well last night. And then what can you say about Vegas? They've been the story of the National Hockey League this year. I mean, from that they're an expansion team, from the tragedy that happened in Las Vegas in September to the emotional start that they had. They get one of the great playoff goalies of the last 15 years, and Marc-Andre Fleury came over from the Penguins in the expansion draft. He gets a shutout win last night. They looked well, scored a goal early with Shea Theodore, and just shut back down the hatches and played great defense the rest of the way.
Penguins again, Crosby's hat trick ties owner and Hall of Famer Mario Lemieux for the most postseason hat tricks in franchise history. This guy's going down as one of the all-time greats. Are the Penguins the team to beat for the Stanley Cup?
You know, last year my way early pick was Tampa, Chicago. Chicago didn't make it. Tampa's in. The Penguins are kind of like, you know, the thing you can't, the Terminator. Until you can kill him, you know, you have to think, until you beat, as like Ric Flair would say, until you beat the man, you can't be the man. So they're going to be tough to go in the East. I think Nashville's the team to beat in the West. But if Winnipeg wins their series, Nashville takes care of business against Colorado beginning tonight. You've got maybe the 2 best teams in the West playing each other in the kind of quarterfinal round. And that could be interesting. Winnipeg can score goals. The last time they played twice here lately, both of them been exciting 1-goal matches.
You have tonight, of course, things start in Nashville. The Predators taking on the Colorado Avalanche, the best President's Trophy, of course, for the NHL, for the Preds. You also have New Jersey at Tampa Bay, Toronto at Boston, Columbus at Washington, San Jose at Anaheim. Let's break them down one at a time. Start with the obvious. Nashville dropping the puck at 9:30 tonight in Nashville against the Avalanche. How do you like that series?
Predators should win. Do not sleep against a team like Colorado. They're like Nashville has been several times in the playoffs. Young, hungry. You can't say, hey, we're the President's Trophy winner. We can go in here and dominate this. You should dominate it, but you've got to play. You can't lose focus of the sight that you've got of the team in front of you. Colorado can give them some trouble. I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado extends this to at least a 5-game series, but I think Nashville wins and advances on.
New Jersey at Tampa Bay, game 1 tonight for the Lightning, one of the top teams in the league.
But they've been struggling lately. Do they get Steven Stamkos back? That's the big thing. Is he able to be much of a factor in the playoffs? They've stumbled down the stretch. New Jersey's played well. Taylor Hall is an MVP candidate in the National Hockey League this year for New Jersey. I still like Tampa. I just think too much talent. They end up winning out in the end, maybe a 6-game series.
Two of the storied rivals and storied franchises, I should say, and a great rivalry in the National Hockey League. The Toronto Maple Leafs in Boston against the Bruins. They start tonight in Beantown. How do you like that series?
Boston's played well all year long. Best team in the East. Toronto has been up and down. Austin Matthews, the young American kid that plays for them, is the most electrifying player that they've got. I think Boston ends up winning this. I think Toronto takes at least one game in Toronto, maybe two, and extends it to a 6-game series. But I like Boston to win out in the end.
Capitals start their series best of 7 tonight in the nation's capital against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Who do you like there?
Columbus has been peaking and playing well here at the end. They can give Washington a lot of problems. Washington is a very good team. They're trying to – Washington's the team that can't get out of the way in the first round. But this year it's been a little bit different thing. I think Washington ends up beating Columbus, but I think it goes all 7 games.
Game 1 of the best of 7 tonight, San Jose, the Sharks in Anaheim against the Ducks. It's an animal, Sharks and Ducks. What do you think there?
To me, this is flip a coin. And it could come down to where Anaheim has the home ice advantage, and it should get them a win. But we saw last year Anaheim had the home ice advantage with Nashville and couldn't take advantage of it. Nashville was able to win the series. Two teams, if Joe Thornton's able to come back at all in this series for San Jose, he could tip the scales for them to win. If he doesn't, I like the Ducks to win in 7.
Who's going to win it all, do you think?
Well, my heart says Nashville. And I think my head, honestly, this year, I think they've got the team to win it. I really do. I hope that they don't flame out. If they don't win it, if there's another team that could win it, Tampa's still there. As long as they're still in the playoffs, I think they've got as much or more talent than anybody that's in the playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Nashville, Tampa, or Nashville, Boston Stanley Cup final.
Talking to our buddy Carmichael live at Champion Chevrolet with the 2018 Equinoxes and Traxxas are $6,000 off MSRP. Also the Tahoes, 2018 Tahoes and Suburbans, 0% for 72 months. How about that? And don't forget, you got Saturday parts and service hours to better serve you. Champion Chevrolet, again, at championjc.com. NBA, before we get into the playoffs, they've set the brackets, they've set the pairings for the first round. Kevin Durant comes out and says, we're going to rework this contract. And so he signs a 2-year deal for $53 million that he agreed to. Turns out he didn't plan to stay in that contract for long, so he is plans to opt out of his contract in the upcoming summer to restructure his contract with the Warriors. In other words, he's going to set himself up to get paid a whole lot more money. What happens here? He's 9-time All-Star, the reigning MVP of the finals, will be turning down a salary of $26.2 million, a figure, this says, well below that for a player of his caliber. In order to restructure a new deal with the Warriors. Does he stay or does he go?
He stays. I think this is just a restructured deal. It could be a restructured deal to also allow him to get paid more money eventually. It may be he signs a 1-year deal, opts out next year again, and then is able to really cash in 2019. And it also hopefully allows them to have a little bit more money under the cap to where maybe they can either afford some more depth or do some other contracts, because depth is what's killing one thing that's killing this team over the last couple of months. You've got 4 All-Stars that have been injured. Well, that was the thing to me, in my opinion, when you had the 4 of them. Yeah, you tied up all your money here. Well, who's left on your bench but old guys that can barely get up the court anymore, and young guys that are too green to play? And it's like there's no in the middle. And some of the guys even that they signed in the middle that thought were going to help, like Nick Young, who's a basket case if there ever was one in the NBA. I mean, he Skippy P or Master P or whatever he calls himself. It's just, players like that, it's just, they've not done a good job, I think, at bringing more depth guys in, bench players in, not had the money to do that.
So let's break down the playoff again. We're talking to, Carmichael. The Warriors, the number 2 seed, the defending world champions, open up against my Spurs. Best of 7. Anything going on there?
unless Kawhi Leonard comes back. If he comes back, and they're going to give Golden State some problems. Give you the stat of the day. Last 10 games Golden State has played against playoff teams. Golden State's 1-9 with a point differential of 138 minus 138 points. So they're getting, and now 40 of that was the other night. They got beat by Utah by 40 on Tuesday night. You know, could be, if it had been maybe New Orleans or Oklahoma City, I would have thought Golden State would be in a lot more trouble in the first round. But I just don't think San Antonio, unless Leonard comes back, has enough legs to be able to beat him.
Top seed Rockets take on the number 8 seed, the Minnesota Timberwolves. They got in, I guess, last night after beating the Nuggets, so they're in. Rockets, Timberwolves, any problem with Minnesota?
I think maybe Minnesota gets one game out of it. They played it was a great game last night with Denver. I mean, that's the kind of game that the NBA should embrace, having that game where you play in to get in. Denver's a good young team. Denver really has nothing to be ashamed of, but they ought to be mad because they're better than 3 of the teams, the bottom 3 teams in the East, and they should be in the playoffs. I think that's why the NBA needs to go, like the NHL, needs to go to the best 1 through 16 records to such playoffs, no matter what your conference, no matter what your divisions are. But I think the Rockets win in at least, maybe even sweep.
How impressive is Russell Westbrook's averaging a triple-double for 2 consecutive seasons?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
And yet he's not an MVP candidate.
No.
It's Harden and LeBron.
It's Harden, LeBron, and probably Simmons. Probably Ben Simmons will be your. But but Russell will get votes. And it's like you're just playing in this era where you've got some really great players.
So you average a triple-double every night for 2 consecutive seasons. That's incredible. I mean, that's very, very impressive.
He is a freak of a basketball player. But you're seeing what I think could be a better version of Russell Westbrook coming along in Ben Simmons.
We're talking to Carmichael, talking NBA. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Dave Angie joins us, always coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're here again tomorrow, no show. Back in the saddle on Monday unless there's a rain out for the race. And so we've got a full slate next week. Rockets, Timberwolves, 1 versus 8. Number 2, Warriors versus number 7, Spurs. In the West, number 3, Portland against number 6, the Pelicans.
That's going to be an interesting series. Portland had 13-game winning streak earlier, like February, March, got into position in the playoffs, stumbled a little bit, but played well, won last night. You know, they don't have, I don't think they've got the big player to maybe slow down Anthony Davis. Their guards will give New Orleans trouble, but New Orleans is, with Rondo and Jrue Holiday, can give Portland some trouble. I wouldn't be surprised to see New Orleans win this playoff series.
Then you have, last but not least, in the West, you have the number 4 seed, the Thunder, and the number 5 seed, who's been a really big turnaround. They were like 19-29 at one point after the All-Star break. Utah Jazz really kicked it in, and so number 4 the Thunder, the number 5 seed, the Jazz.
I think this may be the best opening round series in the entire playoffs. Utah's won 29 out of 33 games to get to this position. OKC is a very up and down. This is 2 almost different styles. Utah is a more deliberate style. Play. They really defensively. 2 college coaches. That's another thing. 2 college coaches who have succeeded in the NBA. Quinn Snyder, who I thought would never be a really good NBA coach, but has turned out to be. Billy Donovan. I mean, it's going to be a fun series. Donovan Mitchell has had an outstanding rookie year, and any other year he probably wins the Rookie of the Year. Rudy Gobert, one of the best defensive centers in the game. I mean, and then you got OKC with Paul George and with Westbrook. It's going to be a fun series to watch.
Let's, of course, by this time next week he gets back in here, it'll be well into these. In fact, some of them might be decided between now and then. So let's run down the Eastern Conference. Again, the number 1 seed, the Raptors against the Wizards. The 8th seed, any problem for the Raptors?
If the Wizards had been a team that was functioning all year long, I mean, John Wall being out a lot has really hurt this team. This is almost like a team that they're ready to go to the golf course. They've got some talented players. John Wall could possibly lead them. Wouldn't be surprised if the Wizards maybe win a game or possibly 2, but I think the Raptors end up taking the series.
Talk a little Major League Baseball here in a few minutes, too, before we let him go. We're talking to Carmichael, the number 2 seed, the Boston Celtics, the number 7 seed, the Milwaukee Bucks. Celtics or Bucks?
Milwaukee played itself. A lot of teams were wanting this 7 seed because with Boston being with injuries, with Kyrie not being able to play the rest of the year, But you know what? You cannot underestimate Brad Stevens. He has done such an outstanding coaching job with this team. It's going to be another fun series. You've got some young players, Jason Tatum, Jason Brown playing with Boston, and you're going up against the Greek Freak. But I like Boston to win this series and advance on. But I think it'll go at least 6 games.
Then you have the third seed of the East, the Philadelphia 76ers against the Miami Heat. So 3 versus 6. Who takes that one?
I like the Sixers. I mean, right now playing the best basketball outside of maybe Houston in the entire league. If they get Joel Embiid back, I mean, this is a team that could be a sleeper team to get to the NBA Finals this year.
4 seed, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Saw where they picked up Kendrick Perkins the other day, trying to bolster their roster for the playoffs. They will take on the 5th seed Indiana Pacers. Cavs or the Pacers here?
I like the Cavs. I think the Pacers the Pacers are kind of like that annoying. They'll give them some trouble. Oladipo has had an outstanding year. But I just think that the Cavs will be. LeBron's on a mission. I think that they're too much. That 1-4 series now that keeps Philadelphia and Cleveland possibly out until the finals, and I think that's going to be your Eastern Conference Finals this year is Philly and Cleveland.
Think so.
And that was a great. If you watched any of the game last Friday night, Philadelphia got out to a 33-point lead. Cleveland came all the way back, and LeBron has 3 free throws with a chance to tie the game. He hits the first one, misses the second, so he has to miss the third on purpose. Missed it, and Larry Nance Jr. had a tip in, and just a wide open tip in, and just missed it at the buzzer. Would have went to overtime. It was the best game or most entertaining game I've seen this season.
Eastern Conference Finals, you say Philadelphia, Cleveland. Toronto fans won't appreciate that, but hey, it is what it is. In the West, who's your final 2?
I like Houston and probably Golden State. I do not think this is the year for. I'm a Golden State fan, but I don't think it's the year for them. I think the injuries. I think that you're probably not going to get Steph Curry back till at least the second round of the playoffs. I just think everything has kind of caught up to him. I wouldn't be surprised to see Houston win the West this year.
Coming up, Dave Andre joins us, talk a little college football. We'll let him talk a little Bristol. We're talking to our buddy Carmichael, who's got his finger on the pulse of Major League Baseball. And any surprises, 2 weeks into the season now, in your humble opinion, who is the biggest surprise? Who's the biggest disappointment right now?
The Dodgers are the biggest disappointment. I've watched Kershaw pitch twice. I saw him in the opening game against San Francisco and against Arizona. He only gave up a home run, just one run, a home run to Joe Panic. But he put a lot of runners on base in that game. Just something about him didn't look right. I don't know. Velocity was down. I think they're the biggest disappointment. I think Boston's biggest surprise. I think
the Mets.
And the Mets getting out to that lead. And even until the last 3 days, I would have said the Braves. Because that's a team that can score a lot of they've seen they could score a lot of runs. They end up winning, getting the third game yesterday. I mean, they could hang around if they get Acuna here this weekend maybe, and he comes up and he's the player that a lot of people think he will be. If Atlanta can get any kind of pitching, they may be able to make a push and go in and at least take this season into August to late August and keep it close with the Nationals and the Mets.
Again, we're talking to our buddy Carmichael. So, again, you look right now going to action today. You have in the NL East the Mets with a 3.5 game lead over the Braves. They're 10-1, the best start in franchise history for New York. Pittsburgh leading the Central by 2 games over the Cubs. Milwaukee Cardinals floundering. They'll play the Reds tonight, which means they'll probably get things turned around pretty quick for the series for the Reds this weekend in Cincinnati. In the West, Arizona a 3.5 game lead over Colorado and San Francisco. In the American League, Boston, as he mentioned, 2 games better than Toronto. The Yankees are 3.5 back. Obviously, that rivalry has been renewed.
Yes.
2 nights ago, it was 14-1 Boston. He blew them out. Last night, Yankees a little skirmish, a little fracas, a little bench clearing brawl, or fight, whatever you want to call it. They beat the Red Sox 10-7 again. It's the series again tonight. Gray for the Yankees and Porcello for Boston. So, bottom line is you've got that rivalry. It's been kind of simmering over the last couple of years. It's back.
Yeah, because Boston has not been. One of them has not been very good. One of the 2 teams has not been, but it's coming back. Arizona and Colorado trying to prove that. Last year they surged toward the end of the season. They were 2 surprise teams in the National League. They're trying to prove that they are doing well. Philadelphia, I thought, would play better this year, but God, poor old Gabe Kapler, he's struggling as a manager. I mean, I watched that game in Atlanta where he goes out there to take the pitcher out, and he hadn't even got the guy warmed up yet, and he struggled with just simple things, and he may be in over his head. We'll see over the next few weeks with Philadelphia.
Also, want to remind you here, Champion Chevrolet, for the month of April, the 2018 Silverado Crew Cab All-Stars at $11,000 off MSRP. You walk through the door. Also, the 18 Cruises and Malibu LTs. The old Malibu, boy, that's an old standby. Back when we were growing up, old boy down the road had a Malibu, and that thing would walk the dog. It could roll. 18 Malibu LTs are 20% off MSRP the month of April here at Champion Chevrolet. ChampionJC.com, and as Andy brought up before he took off, he's got a whole list of used vehicles here, quality pre-owns. Gosh, you got Hyundais and Chevrolets and Toyotas and Fords and Nissans, and these folks have traded these imports in for domestic, which is neat. Lexus, Toyota Tacoma, Lexus GX460. Let's see what else we got here. Toyota Tundra double cabs here on the lot. So they've traded in the imports to get them a domestic to drive out of here with a bow tie. So that's going on here at Champion Chevrolet. Let's see what else. Daniel Norris, crazy game yesterday. Zimmerman got hit in the face of the pitch, the starting pitcher for the Tigers, and so they went to the bullpen to get to summon Norris, who I don't think he really, I guess I'm giving him a pass, but I don't think he got adequately warmed up like he wanted to, and he got knocked around pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, I've been on this for the last year, so I really thought they should have put him in the bullpen, used him as groom him as like an 8th inning pitcher, 7th or 8th inning pitcher that you can come in. But I think right now they're just putting him in the pen and use him as a long man to try to see if he can work what problems out. You hope for his sake, he's a good kid, local kid, and you hope that he can work those things out. But right now he's had trouble with control. I mean, just not been able to have any kind of command on his control.
High school baseball, no question toast of the region right now would be Ryan Edwards' Science Hill Hilltoppers playing excellent baseball, and so they have been dominant so far here in the season. I guess we're past the halfway point. Tournament time's coming up first of the month, so I know they swept Dobbins Minute in their series, so Science Hill's kind of the daddy rabbit in baseball. Softball, really, you've got Elizabethton playing well. Crockett's ladies are playing well. Unicoi County's ladies are playing well. So it's a fun time this time of year.
It is. Science Hill got a win over Crockett a couple of weeks ago in a game where Science Hill came back and won late. So I think Science Hill's problem that they've got some offense. They just have struggled pitching wise in the softball world.
Update on the Parks and Rec. I know you guys are looking at trying to add and build some more fields. Is this still in progress?
We're still looking for some more property, being able to see what we can do if there's any property, any existing property that we have that we can do some things on. We need more ball fields. I mean, we need, as I call them, rectangles and diamonds. I don't call them baseball, softball, soccer. I call them rectangles and diamonds because on rectangles you can play soccer, you can play football, you can play lacrosse, you can play field hockey. And all those sports are in our area right now. We're dealing with every one of those sports, and they need places to play. There's so many youth and travel groups that play in this area. We need diamonds. We need diamonds for our citizens, for adult softball. Our citizens, we only have for those teams. We only have Monday through Thursday available at Wing Deer Park. That's it. On the weekends, we have tournaments there. Our citizens would like to, be able to go out on a Sunday afternoon, maybe a co-ed softball team, and practice somewhere. But we've a lot of times got a tournament. We don't have a field for them, a field big enough for them. So we need, more space for more diamonds like that. And hopefully in the next bit, there's been a lot of discussions. We've been in a lot of things, and we're hoping we can come to a conclusion, come to some kind of thing to help out the citizens of the area.
Perfect, good stuff.
And we're looking for soccer referees. If anybody interested in refereeing soccer, if you have a little bit of knowledge of the sport, if you're at least 16 years old and pass a background check, we can use you as a soccer referee.
There you go. Looking for soccer refs.
Yes, that was what Juventus was looking for yesterday when they were playing Real Madrid, and they got the penalty was called in the 93rd minute of the match in a tie game. They were looking for a soccer ref.
How's my Liverpool Reds doing?
Oh my gosh, your Reds are the toast. They are the toast of the champ. They defeated Manchester City, who has been the number one team in the league this year and will win the Premier League. But they defeated them in the Champions League tournament. So now they're one of the 4 best teams in this tournament in Europe. They go to the semifinals. They do the draw in the morning to see. They'll either come up with Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or Roma to play in the semifinals and advance on to the championship game in May. Jurgen Klopp has got the Reds. He's got the Reds. He's got the Reds. The Liverpool Reds have more offense than the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh yeah. Oh, for that matter, the Elizabethton Cyclone baseball team that we call
the Greenville Reds may have more offense than the Cincinnati Reds.
It is woeful. It'd be interesting to see the attendance this weekend in Cincinnati. Of course, they've got the same storms coming our way as coming through there, but their attendance has been in the tank, to say the least, and understandably so. They're not a very good baseball team.
But Joey Votto sticks with Brian Price.
Yes, he does.
He does, no matter how bad a job Brian Price has done.
He's my guy.
Joey, he's right with him. Well, Joey strikes me as the kind of guy. He's a great player. There's no doubt. He's put up great numbers.
Quirky.
But I just wonder if he really cares if he plays on a World Series champion or if he plays for a sixth-place Central Division team. And there's some players that are like that. There were some players, when the spotlight was off them, they were the greatest players in the world. But when the spotlight was on them, they just didn't perform. Story I always told gentleman that a gentleman that used to play for San Francisco Giants that lives in the area said Orlando Cepeda was the greatest player when we were 8 runs down or 8 runs ahead. But when we needed to get a hit,
crunch time,
he disappeared, so we had to have Willie Mays or Willie McCovey.
Interesting. Good job, my friend.
Thank
See you next
sir.
week.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back here next week. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on a beautiful, as Carmichael calls and he's right, a Chamber of Commerce Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. No show tomorrow. We'll be at the track. It's Bush's Beans Pole Day. And then back with you Monday, Tuesday, and we're back with full shows next week all over the Tri-Cities. Right back after this, you are listening, watching show number 727 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Massive inventory, huge savings for our February model year closeout sale at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. 17 Silverado 1500 Crew and double cabs, $12,000 off MSRP. 17 Corvettes, 20% off MSRP. 18 Equinox, $4,000 off MSRP. 17 Traverse, $6,000 off MSRP. 17 Spark, $10,995. Take advantage of these great savings while they last. Champion also offers Saturday parts and service hours and online shopping 24/7. Champion Chevrolet, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Max Medicine Mart doesn't want you to save one day. They want you to save every day with a Good Food Grocery loyalty card. Good Food Grocery, the store within the store at Max Medicine Mart. When you spend $50 or more, you receive 1 punch on your loyalty card. 5 punches, you get 20% off your total purchases. And when you get 10 punches, you get 30% off all your total purchases at Max Medicine Mart. It's just that easy. Stop by and get your Good Food Grocery loyalty card today. When you spend $50 more, get a punch. 5 punches, you get 20% off. And 10 punches, you get 30% off your total purchases with a Good Food Grocery loyalty card from Max Medicine Mart. Max Medicine Mart, Center Street in Kingsport. Make tracks to Max with a Good Food Grocery loyalty card.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
We're back again live on the Tom Dillon Sports Show. We thank you for being with us again on this Thursday. We're, of course, joined, as you see on the screen, our buddy from the News and Neighbor, our buddy Dave Angie. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Fantastic, Tom. Got some spring weather finally.
Oh, man, it's nice.
How about this?
Beautiful the next couple of days, and so take full advantage of it. Get outside and wash your car, walk the dog, mow the yard, just do something, get outside. We've been waiting for this kind of weather, and it's here for the next couple of days before another front comes, but we'll worry about that this weekend. We want to do a wrap on what's going on with his picking panel with the basketball. Of course, we crowned the college champion, the Villanova Wildcats. The Milo that you were competing for, did you win? Who won? What's the final outtake on that deal, the verdict? As soon as I asked him about this, he sat down, he just kind of took a big, deep, long sigh, and I thought, this ain't going to be good, but go ahead.
Well, I had no shining moments at all this year. I was never in it, really, which is even more disappointing. The dog won the contest. The dog Dixie
won?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, Dixie picked the Final Four perfect. All three of those games, Final Four weekend, just by picking Cheerios off the ground. One of them's Villanova, one of them's Michigan. It picked all the way through, so yeah, it's shame. I'm telling you, the whole family, we're going to have to get together and just regroup. We were picking, we were trying to use our brain power. This dog picks Cheerios off the floor, and
so Dixie wins the picking panel. Your dog wins everything.
Yeah, the dog
wins the Milo.
And just to tell you how amazing this is, and it was random. It's obviously all random. You throw cereal on the floor, see which one she picks. But that dog went picked 9 out of the last 10 games right, something like that. So I don't know. Me and the dog may be going to Vegas sometime soon, and
see, there's Dave and Dixie does to Vegas. There you go. Head to Vegas.
People didn't pick particularly bad. It's just
she was that good.
Yeah, she was that good.
So what does the dog do with the trophy, the Milo? Does it stay in her doghouse? Where's it prominently displayed now since Dixie won?
Well, it's still up. It's still up on the mantle. I mean, we're still in shock. We haven't made a decision yet. We can't let that dog have it in the kennel. So we'll have to figure it out. But it's going to be a shameful year. It's going to be a shameful year for us, and it's hard to come back from that.
Whole family's kind of stunned, aren't they?
Yeah. It's been pretty tough, but my thoughts now. You just got to move forward. Springtime. I'll probably get to wear my short pants tomorrow. It's gonna be spring. It's gonna be warm, so we'll just move on and forget this ever happened.
Just trudge on. Mm-hmm. The dog won the picking panel. Dixie wins the family picking panel of college basketball.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, speaking of college basketball, let's run down. We got a few things we want to touch on. Michael Morrell, former Elizabethton Star, Milligan Star, named the new head coach at nearby UNC Asheville. Has served as an assistant to Shaka Smart at Texas for the past 3 seasons, and at VCU for 4 seasons before that. So this guy comes with great credentials. He was named the top recruiter in the country under the age of 35 by ESPN. Michael Morrell of Elizabethton, the new coach at UNC Asheville. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big hire for them. That program's going to get better in short order. He's a guy that recruits on the same level, I think, that Forbes recruits. If you watch what ETSU did, they signed the junior college guard the other day, a guy that can really fill it up, guy that had a scholarship offer in the SEC from Ole Miss, and he picks ETSU just because Forbes got in early and built a good relationship. That's the thing with recruiting. It's a relationships business. You can't fake that if you're a coach. There's some coaches that know X's and O's, but they can't get the players in there, and their program suffers as a result. The thing with Michael Morrell, he's going to get his players in there, and I've always believed in his coaching ability. I remember when he was there at Milligan, and everybody kind of talked about him like, this guy's going to be a coach one day. He's going to be big time. He's got kind of the total package with personality and knowledge of the X's and O's, and it's a great hire, and I wish him the best, and I kind of hope might be able to get a series going with UNC Asheville and ETSU kind of over the mountain. I think that would have a lot of fan interest and be fun for folks around here for sure.
Hello to Will Bellamy watching the show. Thank you, my friend. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. We're talking to our buddy Dave Angie for the News and Neighbor. A little NASCAR news coming to Bristol this weekend. NASCAR suspended Hendrick Motorsports crew chief Alan Gustafsson for 2 races after Chase Elliott's car was found to have an illegal rear window. Elliott docked 20 points. That drops him from 15th down to 18th in the standings coming to Bristol. Gustafsson was fined $50,000. Hendrick Motorsports says it will not appeal the penalty. So, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but why would you knowingly, with all the cameras and everything you go through, why would you knowingly put an illegal rear window into the car. And what advantage does that give you, knowing that there's a pretty good chance you're going to get caught, and you did?
I'll tell you, that's got to give them downforce. There's no reason they would take that risk, without knowing what it was going to do. And there's a team, and you look at how much Hendrick cars have struggled to keep up with everybody on these bigger tracks. You're at Texas, and you know that you've been getting it handed to you by Ford. That's when they're going to start to work in the gray area a little bit. I think, but like you say, it was pretty obvious. There were fans on television who were tweeting pictures, still shots off of their TV about this. It looked like the back of the car was kind of dented. You could see the indentation in the window. That kind of allows the air to flow in a different manner over the back of the car, and probably helps it keep hooked into the track a little bit better through the corners. So, people on Twitter figured it out. It's not like it's going to get by NASCAR. If you got folks at home like, hey, it's not going to get by NASCAR, and it didn't, and they're going to get punished for it. They're just at the point at Hendrick now. And they're not usually in this position. Normally teams are getting penalized for trying to find ways in the gray area to catch up to them. So it's a role reversal here, but they're trying to catch up, and that was the method they did it, and they did not get away with it.
By definition, would that tell me that Hendrick's really struggling as a team because they're now dropping in illegal rear windows into their cars?
Well, Chad Knaus is always operating in the gray areas. I think teams always try to do that. It always fascinates me when you find out areas where teams are working to try to get ahead a little bit. I remember I spent a day down there touring Michael Waltrip Racing back when Michael Waltrip's organization was open, and there were areas of the shop they wouldn't let me in, but they would tell me what was going on in there. They were taking metal combinations and making their own nuts and bolts. They wouldn't buy those things off the shelf, because what they were trying to do is say, okay, can we make nuts and bolts that are as strong as what they sell, but they're an ounce lighter? Because if you take all that weight combined, when you think of all the nuts and bolts on a car, you can your car is going to be much lighter than everybody else's, and then you can distribute the weight in the part of the car you need it to either hold the track, or at a place like Bristol, you can reinforce the front bumpers of your car to where you can get into people and it's not going to tear the front of your car up. So depending on what track they were going to, they would use that weight in different ways. And we're seeing it this year with the air guns. That fascinates me, that NASCAR is now giving them out through a lottery system, and you have a situation where Harvick's complaining about the air guns, but you have to wonder, has his team been modifying those air guns a little bit to try to get them to get the nuts and bolts on and off the car a tenth of a second faster for track position? And it's they deal with within 16ths of an inch, and tenths of a second to try to beat each other. And as long as that's the environment and competition's that close, you're going to see them try to bend the rules wherever they can.
Sure. Again, we're talking to our buddy Dave Angi's on the screen. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet for a few more minutes, enjoying a visit as we do every week with my buddy here, who does a fantastic job, as all of our guests do. So, true or false, Chase Elliott knew about this?
No.
Are these drivers oblivious?
No. Here's the thing, plausible deniability. It's kind of like college football coaches. If your boosters are going to go out and pay players,
right,
college football coaches are not told about it. They don't, a lot of the stuff I think that happened at Louisville with Rick Pitino, a certain amount of that he didn't want to know about. His assistants, do what you got to do to get players. There were elements of that he wouldn't know about, and it's the same with the drivers. They don't want any knowledge of that. They don't want to be drug into it, to where it's say, well, the driver knew about this, so now we're going to dock him, this amount of money, or we're going to suspend him a race, or they don't want any part of that. They just want to say, hey, tell them, make me a fast race car, I'll jump in and drive it, and if there's any question about it, you go talk to these guys.
Also, out of the NASCAR camp course, we're right down the road from the world's last great Coliseum. Bush's Beans Pole Day gets it all started tomorrow, qualifying for the Sunday race. 26 running the Food City 500. Hendrick man Jimmy Johnson back in to defend his crown in the Cup Series. Two-time defending champ from the Xfinity Series. Eric Jones will be in to defend his in the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300. We've got the entry list. And then, of course, we said in the K&N Series, the Zombie Auto 150 will be Harrison Burton, the son of NASCAR veteran driver, now broadcaster Jeff Burton, back to defend his crown. They've announced for the All-Star race next month in Charlotte. Here we go again. NASCAR's tweaked it, testing a different aerodynamic package. The plate's going to use restrictor plates at Charlotte, used to choke off horsepower and slow speeds, and are used at Daytona and Talladega. The aero package will be used as the same one they used at Indianapolis last year. That race saw a record number in leaders, lead changes, and green flag passes for the lead. Format for this year is $1 million. 4 stages, 30 lap, 20 lap, 20 lap, and a final 10 lap shootout for the grand prize. Only green flag laps will be counted for the final stage or in the final stage. Good, bad, or indifferent, the new format for the All-Star race?
I'm great with that in the All-Star race. If they, because it's a show. The All-Star race always is. I mean, you're trying to put on a show. And if you look at every other major sport, they do things in their All-Star games differently than they do during the regular season because it's got to stand out and be special in some way. So you got to look at ways to say, okay, how can we put on a better show in this All-Star game? Like I say, every sport's done it. Now, I'm going to have a problem if they say, okay, wow, that worked well in the All-Star race. We're doing it in the 600. We're going to put restrictor plates on these cars at every one of these tracks, so that way anybody can win, because then you're no longer a racing series. You're just putting on a show, and that to me, like we just talked about with competition, I think what fans of the sport look at and what excites them is the fact they know these people are thrashing away every week down in Charlotte, trying to gain that tenth of a second or 16th of an inch on everybody else in the field. You look at Hendrick; they were on top for a long time. Now you look at Ford with Penske and with Stewart-Haas. They've worked hard, and they've found ways to go faster than the Chevrolets right now. So they're on top, and that's been the ebb and flow of the sport for years. And I think that level of competition is something that the sport needs to showcase, and don't try to find ways to trick it up to where you just all of a sudden take that advantage completely away, give everybody a restrictor plate and say, okay, you're all going the same speed. So now it just comes down to, who's out front by luck at the end or who's willing to do what they need to get the win. I think there needs to be the competitive element in it that there always has been. But for the All-Star race, I'm all for it. I think it'll be a pretty good show.
So turn those ponies loose. Who do you like going into Bristol this weekend? Who's going to win the 500? Could Jimmy Johnson break this string of winless races and come back and get back in the win column? Or is it going to be somebody else?
I think it's a good chance for the Hendrick cars. And when you're struggling, we've seen teams in the past, when they're struggling on the mile and a half, and everybody's been in that position over the last 10 years at one time or another, pretty much except for Hendrick, but Bristol's one they circle and say, okay, or Martinsville's the same way. It's a short track. Aerodynamics don't matter. This is our chance to get the win. If we get a win here, we're in the chase. Then we can start just focusing 100% on how to get competitive on mile-and-a-half tracks because you don't have to worry as much about the points. So, I think, they could be in it, but you can't discount the momentum that all these Ford cars have. I think you look at Keselowski possibly as being a driver just because he's been so good here. Kyle Busch, obviously in the Toyota, he knows this place. He owns it. He did last time he was here. He's coming in on a roll. I think Kevin Harvick, another guy feeling really good about himself. Kurt Busch has been competitive at this track. I think that's a key to it. He's been running in the top 5 a lot. He's won here before. You got to be in that top 5 a few times before you finally catch the brakes and get the win. So he's one to watch for as well, I think. But the Ford camp and Kyle Busch is where I would look probably for a winner.
You also look from a guy that sat on the pole for both races last year but has nothing to show for it. Kyle Larson, a guy who says he loves Bristol. And a lot of times everybody else is down low. He runs up high, and he'll go exact opposite of what everybody else is doing. But you got to throw him into the mix too. And of course, you always have the X factor, somebody out there that we're not even thinking about.
Yeah.
But certainly Keselowski and Penske and Logano and Ryan Blaney, that's a pretty strong team right now. Clint Boyer reared up and got him a win in Martinsville.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's one you got to figure in, but
here's the deal with it. Talk about the drivers, but I think the cars play a big thing. We're starting to see a pattern at Bristol because we have enough data now. We've had enough races run where they put what they call the Bristol bite. The rubber stretch on the bottom of the track where they they kind of drag tires down and they put that the rosin on the bottom of the track to create a lane down there. And we've seen what the cars do, the top lane coming in as the race goes on. What's been interesting to me is there's always dominant cars early in the race. For whatever reason, they fall away. But if you're the car in the last 150 or 200 laps of that race, if you have the car that can pass on the high side or pass on the low side, you're going to be the one that wins the race because no matter what position you get in at the end, odds are so good in your favor that you're going to have a path to get around somebody and get to the front. And that's what we've seen, So if you're a driver and a crew chief and all the people that work in these cars this week, you're looking at it like, how can we have our cars to where we keep our nose clean first 300 laps, then we have our car handling where we want it to. What's the data? What's the setup we need? What do we need to do with the tires where we can pass high or low? Because that's the path to victory at Bristol now.
Talking to our buddy Dave Angie, hello to Jerry Keller. Want to say hello to him. We got a few more minutes left here on the switch gears, and I've still got a segment again we're going to do before we get out of here with high school baseball and softball from yesterday. Let you know who's playing today and who won yesterday before we take off. College football, wrapping up spring practice. These teams are playing this weekend. One is not. We'll let him talk about that in a moment. These are the teams that will be playing this weekend. Kentucky, Wisconsin, Arizona State, Army, Syracuse, Boston College, Indiana, SMU, Tulane, Maryland, the Duke Blue Devils, Louisville, Minnesota, Missouri, Pitt, Ohio State, Oklahoma. Does it bother you when I say Ohio State? Does that just kind of rub you?
Yeah.
Rub you?
Did you see me flinch?
Yeah, I did. That's why I saw the corner of my eye would kind of get a little heebie-jeebie thing. Oklahoma, Clemson, Florida, Stanford, Texas A&M, Florida State, Miami of Florida, Texas Tech, Arizona, Cincinnati, Navy, and North Carolina. Those are not all, but a lot of the schools that are going to wrap up spring practice their particular game this weekend. Michigan, supposed to play it on a night game at 7 o'clock, has pulled the plug and said no-go this year.
Yeah, terrible forecast. It's going to be completely rainy, windy, and all that, which I was a proponent of them going to play because after watching Michigan State game last year, I said we might need some practice in the wind and rain because we didn't handle it too well last time around. But no, just from what I hear, it's been a good spring practice for them. It all hinges, I think, for Michigan on whether or not Shea Patterson's eligible. The young man that left Ole Miss, and what disappointed me about that, he's already transferred, he's already enrolled at Michigan. The only question is whether he plays this year or plays next season. If he has to wait out a year because of eligibility. The argument is Ole Miss was so dishonest with their recruits during the period of time when they signed, saying that the NCAA investigation was all around Houston Nutt, when they knew for a fact that it was around the current coaching staff. And as it happened, they got nailed with a lot of sanctions for that. So, generally when players leave under those circumstances after they were not dealt with honestly during the recruiting process, they get immediate eligibility. There's 5 other players, I believe, besides Patterson, that have transferred out of Ole Miss to other schools, and they're all kind of waiting on the NCAA. But Ole Miss, is fighting it. They have nothing to gain at this point. I mean, all those players have left their school. I mean, it's just basically out of spite to make these kids sit out a year. So, I think it highlights that the NCAA has to do something in terms of if a coach leaves, I think players should be able to transfer and be eligible immediately, because if your coach leaves the school, that's the person who recruited you to be there.
Exactly.
And I think here's what that does. Here's the byproduct of that too. Not only does it give the players freedom to make a choice again of who they want to play for, it'll also give a school pause. I think these schools pull the plug on head coaches too quick. They say, well, we're 3 or 4 years into this. We already can tell this guy's not the guy. We don't like him. There's no more 5 years that coaches used to get to put their program together. So, coaches may say, if we fire this guy, we might lose 10 of our good football players. And it might give them pause to say, let's give this guy another year and see if the plan can work. Because I think they pulled the trigger too early in a lot of cases. And I just think they need to reform what they do with this transfer rule and who's eligible and when. I think it's something they really need to look at.
Florida, again, will have their game on Saturday at 3 o'clock. So for a program like Florida with a new coach, you're really trying to cover a lot of different territory in a short period of time. You're trying to get these kids acclimated to the new coach. Well, Tennessee's got the same thing, Jeremy Pruitt. So how tough is that to bring in a new coach, implement his system, evaluate his players or the players left behind, continue to recruit? There's a lot of things going into the spring practice to wrap up and culminate with a particular game. So how tough is that for the coaches and for the schools and I guess the players to get dialed into a new coach?
Well,
new system.
I think there's a breath of fresh air for a lot of the players, particularly the ones that could tell they weren't really fitting into the old coach's system, or they were in that coach's doghouse. Now it's a clean slate, and all the coaches will tell you that. Pruitt's made a big deal of that in the spring at Tennessee, and I think really if you watch Tennessee's practices, they've been really spirited because those guys feel a sense of opportunity. They're going to have a chance to really be able to go out there and and compete for playing time, and there's no preconceived notions about what they can or can't do. It's opportunity. It's wide open. Go out there and get it. I think that's the best thing about that. Now, the negative is it becomes very important in spring practice. You're not just continuing your learning process. you're kind of starting all over. What's their terminology? You got to learn new terminology. You got to learn new plays. You got to learn, everything's brand new from that standpoint. So the learning curve is steeper, and the clock is ticking between now and the fall. So that's the downside. But the upside from the player standpoint is, you can impress this new coach, and you can go from third string, second string, up to first string, get some playing time that you wouldn't have gotten if the old regime had stayed in town.
High school football, the interview process has begun for the new coach at Dobyns-Bennett. They got 9 candidates, and of course who they are is under a cloud of confidentiality, which I understand to a point. Yeah. But word's out, and it's pretty much everybody knows what's going on over there. But nonetheless, the interviewing process has started for the new DB football coach. Larry Shively came out today, the athletic director we've had on the show many times, said, we're not in a hurry. We're going to get the right coach. It may be mid-April, maybe late April, which is good to a point. But the flip side of that is, if Dave Onge's in the running and Dave Onge's a current coach at XYZ school, and you got spring practice, because most schools, unless I miss my mark, most schools in Tennessee will have their spring practice beginning the first week of May.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the running for this coaching position, and I've interviewed for it, and they haven't made a decision, and I have to go back to my XYZ school and try and get ready for practice, knowing full well that I may not be there. There's a 1 in 9 chance I'm going to get hired by DB to come over there. It kind of puts the program the guys leaving kind of into a somewhat of a tailspin, because they're going to have to go out and make a quick snap decision. So it's kind of almost like a domino effect, really.
Yeah, there will be a domino effect. And I would, without speculating too much, I would imagine that whichever school, if it gets into May, you almost promote somebody from within at that point, at the other school that DB's taking a coach from. I do think in high school, what you have that you don't have in college is, most of these assistant coaches are teachers at the school. So you come in, you're going to pretty much inherit a lot of a coaching staff. So, I think what you try to change is going to be limited. The good news for whoever's coming into Dobyns-Bennett is you could not be stepping in behind a better football coach in terms of, the team that you have and the assistant coaches that you have know football inside and out. They do it the right way. High football IQs on the players and coaches. So that transition should be pretty good. With the 7-on-7 they do over the summer now, that'll really help the new coach implement the passing game the way they want to. You get a lot more time now on that than you used to. So by the time they get to the fall practices, which now happen really early in August, you should have a football team that's pretty close to up to speed. But like you say, wherever the coach leaves at this point, there's going to be a quick decision process there. That school also has to get it right. No, that would be way out of left field, but nothing's coming to me. So those two is what I'll put down.
Yeah, and obviously for the sport, in my humble opinion, the guy you want to win up there this weekend, Chase Elliott.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
I'll give you a dark horse. I'll give you. Let me think. No, I lost it now. Why don't you ask the dog? Ask Dixie. You're asking me to predict something.
Throw the Cheerios down and ask Dixie. Dixie, you won the college basketball.
It's not coming. I'm a broken man, Tom. Yeah. I can't predict anything right now. So I feel bad for picking Kevin Harvick now, because now he's got no chance. Blow a tire on lap 50.
Is there therapy that somebody can take because your dog won the basketball picking panel?
Yeah. We're going to go on a holistic retreat into the mountains as a family, and we'll come out better for it.
A holistic trip. On that note, we're going to take a break. A holistic trip to the mountains to deal with the dog winning the picking battle.
Yeah, a little sunrise yoga and talk about our feelings a little. So
yogurt granola bars around the campfire. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll wrap this thing up. We're live at Champion Chevrolet, show number 727 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications and 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Thanks again. I appreciate these guys coming by. Hello. Well, there she is. The Queen is watching. The lovely. I just see the lady's name and start laughing. She's a piece of work. I'm telling you, she is hilarious. All right, let's run them down real quick before we get out of here. Again, no show tomorrow. We're going to be at the Speedway. Bush's Beans Pole Day on Saturday. We've got the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300. A really cool, I guess I can go ahead and tell this. I'm going to. The Invocation on Saturday. Ooh. Billy Graham's grandson, Will Graham's, coming to town and to give the invocation for the race on Saturday, and I can't wait. Of course, I did a show over at the Cove back in January and had him on the show, and the guy's, to me, very phenomenal. So we'll be up there with that. And so we'll be there starting tomorrow. No show tomorrow. Back in the saddle on Monday. Of course, that the rain comes, like they were saying, and it gets things get pushed. And there's nothing said it's going to get pushed yet, so don't, yeah. Ha, there you go. Oh, I'm telling you, she is an absolute piece of work. What a joy. All right, so anyway, focus here. So if we're not, we'll be back ready to go on Monday at, gosh, where I'm at next week. Jim Klein Farmers Insurance on Monday. Can't remember where I'm at Tuesday. So anyway, we'll be back here next Thursday. Next Friday, we'll take it back out to Food City. Next Friday, we'll be at Clinchfield Street in downtown Kingsport. We'll be talking about Kingsport Speedway. Of course, they are down for this week. They've obviously canceled things, got out of the way for the race. So, oh, Lordy have mercy. Let me think here. What am I doing? Let's run down again high school baseball from yesterday and see what we have again for the finals before we get out of here. I know Crockett bounced back, and Daniel Boone had a lead, and Crockett's ladies came back and won the big 7 matchup yesterday in baseball. I'm sorry, in softball. Also yesterday in softball, let's run those down one minute in that category. Crockett beat Boone 7-5. Virginia High over Sullivan East 4-3. Union Virginia beat Sullivan East 17-7. Unicoi County's Lady Blue Devils over Central 15-3. Also, you had yesterday Sullivan North ladies doubling up Hampton 10-5. That's what we have as far as games from yesterday. Today, softball. Science Hill, Dobbins Minute, the rivalry is renewed. That'll be in Kingsport. Daniel Boone at Cherokee, Crockett at Volunteers, Sullivan South at Elizabethton today. Happy Valley's ladies at Unicoi County. Sullivan Central's Lady Cougars hosting Johnson County. University High at Hampton, Unaka at Cloudland, and Sullivan North ladies will be at Twin Springs in Nicholsville for a non-conference game there. So, yeah, you can check my forecast. Yeah. What a piece of work. All right, so let's see. Baseball Wednesday. Game yesterday we had right here. Elizabeth beat Johnson County 6-1. Sullivan East blank Sullivan Central 3-0. Unaka's boys defeated Hampton in high school baseball 8-5. Here's your schedule for today. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day to play baseball and softball and soccer and all the spring sports. Unaka at West Green today. South Green and North Green. Volunteer hosting Granger. Unicoi County, the Blue Devils at Jefferson County. Johnson County at Chucky Doak. Providence Academy plays at Hampton today. Cherokee at Cumberland Gap. Sullivan North at Sullivan East. Other baseball games, Dobbins Minute at Knox Farragut. Tennessee High and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina playing a tournament there. Sullivan South in a tournament in Sevierville. And Unaka plays at West Green in boys high school baseball. Let's also run down. I want to get the soccer one here too. Which paper do I have the soccer? Man, I got 4 or 5 papers. Need me to check the forecast for you? Oh, Lordy have mercy. You just meet some nice ones in your travels. I can tell you that. Here we go. Wrong paper. Here we go. I apologize for rattling the papers, but here we go. Here's what's going on today in soccer around the region. Elizabeth in the Dobbins Minute. Daniel Boone at Cock County. Of course, it's boys in the spring. Girls play soccer in the falls. It's boys soccer. Crockett at Chucky Doak today. Tennessee High at Greenville. Kachia, the homeschoolers, hosting Volunteer. Union Virginia at Sullivan South. Sullivan Central play at Tri-Cities Christian today. And also in soccer, Hampton at University High. In Virginia, Abington at Patrick Henry. And Union at Sullivan South, a non-conference play for today. So that's what's going on there. Hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, our guest today, Lisa Johnson from Food City. Don't forget tomorrow night, Food City Family Race Night from 4 to 9. Again, free admission. And that'll be going on again, as we said, happening right outside Turn 4 in Hospitality Village. That'll be starting tomorrow night at 4 until 9 o'clock. So thanks to Lisa checking in with us on that. Also our buddy Carmichael, also our buddy Dave Angie from the News and Neighbor, and certainly our buddy Andy Dietrich, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet, came by earlier in the show to talk about what's going on with the 2018's got to get them out of here, and they've got some great sales to do that. The 2018 Silverado Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. The Equinoxes and Trax, $6,000 off MSRP. The 2018 Cruise and Malibu LTs, 20% off MSRP. And the 2018 Tahoes and Suburbans, 0% for 72 months. And so we appreciate them. Love coming over here every Thursday. I'm just going to tell you, you don't find much, what's the right English? Much classier, better classier people, more classier people than what you'll see here. These people are top shelf, and you surround yourself with classy people, whether it's Food City or Bristol Motor Speedway or, of course, Champion Chevrolet and any and all of our sponsors. That's why we've got them, because they're classy folks. And so these guys and ladies here are some of the best, and we appreciate them very, very much. Also, don't forget, next week, once we come back from the race, the trucks you'll see up there pulling the trams around outside of the Speedway on property, the 2018 Chevrolet 2500 LTZ diesel crew cabs, 4 full doors. Those are going to be on sale coming back next week after Champion Chevrolet allows them to be used up around the track for the ride of a lifetime, and also pulling those trams. So if you're waiting to get a truck, you want to wait maybe till next week, come in here, because those 2018 Chevy 2500 LTZ diesel crew cabs will be using the Speedway. We'll come back with a discounted price, and so they always sell a bunch of those and bring them back from the track. As Andy said, you'll have a choice of black and white ones, and so Chevrolet, the official car in this case and truck of Bristol Motor Speedway, And so you'll see a lot of bow ties up there bobbing around this weekend, including the Ride of a Lifetime there on Saturday or on Sunday when the Cup drivers drive around and driver intros, and the fans that win the Ride of a Lifetime will ride around with them again at Bristol Motor Speedway. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. Ran a little over today, and that's okay. We'll come back in with you on Monday with a brand new show. Again, for those of you who won tickets for the racing this weekend, congratulations. You're off the show. We had 12 states represented, so we'll jump in and get after it and rejoin you again on Monday. We'll head to the track, get ready to do some announcing as the voice of Bristol Motor Speedway, which is quite an honor and a privilege for an old hillbilly from West Virginia, I can tell you that. Until then, as always, we'll say, as we